Half the American rod brands hanging in your local tackle shop are controlled by just two corporate groups. And one famous American brand is not even American anymore. The name on the rod tells you almost nothing about who is actually cashing your check. I pulled the ownership records on 8 American rod brands, and only 2 names in this video came out clean. Here is what I found. Let us start counting down, from the household names to the one that surprised even me. Number 8, Zebco. This is the brand most Americans caught their first fish on. Tulsa, Oklahoma, making rods and reels since 1949. It does not get more American than that. But in 2021, Zebco was sold to a group called Rather Outdoors. Remember that name, Rather Outdoors, because it is going to come up again in this list. When a heritage brand becomes one line item in a corporate portfolio, the heritage is doing the selling, not the building. Zebco combos are fine for a kid's first cast. Just know that you are buying a logo, not the company your grandfather knew. Number 7, Fenwick. Ask an older angler and they will tell you. Fenwick basically invented the modern graphite rod back in the 1970s. That pioneer is long gone. Today, Fenwick is one of more than a dozen brands stacked inside Pure Fishing, the private equity-backed giant of the tackle industry. It is the same script every time. Keep the legendary name on the blank and run it through the same corporate machine as a dozen sister brands. You are not buying the company that changed rod building. You are buying the memory of it. Number 6, 13 Fishing. Founded in Florida in 2012, and for a while it was the coolest young American rod brand out there. Here is what most anglers missed. Rapala, the Finnish tackle giant listed on the Helsinki Stock Exchange, started buying in back in 2019. And by the end of 2023, the founder had sold his very last shares. 13 Fishing is now 100% owned by a Finnish corporation. There is nothing wrong with Finland. It is a great fishing country. But if you are paying extra for a scrappy American upstart, you should know that the upstart left the building. Number 5, Lew's, a name with real tournament pedigree, and for years it marketed itself as the value for money choice. But Lew's has been passed between private equity firms. Peak Rock Capital took it over in 2016, then sold it on to BDT Capital in 2019. And here is the part that should bother you. Under private equity ownership, Lew's grew mainly by buying up founder-owned and family-owned tackle businesses and folding them into the portfolio. The family brand became the thing that swallows family brands. Number 4, Abu Garcia, plot twist. This American classic was never American to begin with. Abu started out as a watch factory in a small town in Sweden, and that is fine. Plenty of great gear has European roots. The real problem is where it ended up. Abu Garcia is another Pure Fishing brand, sitting in the same corporate stable as Fenwick, Berkeley, Shakespeare, and half the tackle aisle. That is 2 Pure Fishing brands down, 1 to go. Number 3, Ugly Stick. Probably the most famous rod name in America, built on one promise: indestructible rods for working people. The Shakespeare company behind it goes back more than a century. And today, Pure Fishing again. That is 3 brands on this list: Fenwick, Abu Garcia, and Ugly Stick, that look like competitors on the shelf but report to the same owner. When rival brands share one parent, competition on quality quietly stops being the point. The rod may still be tough. The story around it is softer than it looks. Number 2, Quantum. Launched in America in 1984 and marketed for decades as a performance brand. Now here is the reveal this whole list has been building to. Quantum was part of Zebco brands, and when Rather Outdoors bought Zebco in 2021, Quantum came along in the deal. So let us connect the dots. Zebco at number 8, Lew's at number 5, and Quantum right here. 3 different names, 3 different price points, 1 owner. Because Rather Outdoors is simply the new name of Lew's Holdings, backed by BDT Capital. That is not a conspiracy theory. It is a press release. And number 1, Dobyns. This one is personal. In my earlier video on rod brands, I listed Dobyns as one of the independents. And at the time, that was the story everyone believed. It is no longer true. In May of 2024, Dobyns was acquired by GSM Outdoors. It was their 11th fishing acquisition and already the 3rd rod brand in their collection. And here is the kicker. Barely 4 months later, GSM itself was sold onto an even bigger private equity firm, Platinum Equity. So the family rod brand founded by legendary bass angler Gary Dobyns is now sitting 2 corporate layers deep. I would rather correct the record than pretend I never said it. Dobyns is off the independent list. And honestly, if a channel about brand ownership cannot update you when the ownership changes, then what is the point? 8 names down. Now let us talk about the machine behind them, because once you see the pattern, you cannot unsee it. So what is actually going on here? It is a playbook. Step 1, a private equity group buys a trusted family name. Step 2, the logo stays, the founder goes, and production gets folded into the same factories as the sister brands. Step 3, the marketing keeps selling the old story. Family, heritage, made for real anglers, while the margin goes to a fund. Out of the 8 brands in this video, 6 are controlled by just 3 corporate groups: Pure Fishing, Rather Outdoors, and GSM Outdoors. The rod wall at your local shop looks like a marketplace. In reality, it is closer to a small club wearing 20 different hats. But this video promised you 2 brands that are worth every penny. So let us end on a high note. So who is still worth every penny? 2 names. First, Falcon Rods. Family owned since 1990, based in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, and started by founder John Beckwith with little more than a trademark application and a truck full of prototypes. More than 30 years later, it is still the same family business. And the Karen Lowrider series have earned a loyal following among bass anglers for good reason. Second, and this might be my favorite story in fishing, Cashin Rods. Matthew Cashin had a doctorate in polymer chemistry and no job. So in 2009, he borrowed $2,000 from his father and started building fishing rods in Sanford, North Carolina. Today, Cashin still builds its rods by hand in that same North Carolina factory. Still family owned, still designing rod blanks at the molecular level. When people say they do not make them like they used to, well, Cashin literally still does. And 2 honorable mentions before we go. Duckett Fishing, founded and owned by Bassmaster Classic champion Boyd Duckett himself, and Temple Fork Outfitters out of Dallas, Texas, both still independent as far as the records show. Which brings us to the bottom line. So the next time a rod promises you American heritage, flip it over and ask one question. Whose heritage? The families or the funds? If this video saved you from paying corporate prices for a corporate story, consider subscribing. Because next time we are heading to the fishing line aisle where the consolidation runs even deeper than the rod wall. See you then.